her steps suddenly came to a halt. The word sang had barely slipped from her lips before it faded into silence. Won Soo's eyes widened in disbelief. Just ahead, behind a street lamp, a couple stood closely together. Won Soo turned away, saying nothing. She didn't walk off. Instead, she stayed still, listening, thoughts churning. What's going on? She wondered. The girl looked young, and her outfit didn't scream office worker. From the looks of it, she had probably timed Jae Soo's end of work to wait for him here. Won Soo hesitated, her thoughts beginning to line up logically. Maybe I should stay out of this. It's probably something personal. She looked at the phone in her hand, torn. Then, slowly, she typed and sent a message. Looks like today isn't the best day to meet. Let's catch up another time. She stood off to the side, dazed, and murmured to herself. Maybe I went a bit overboard. Why did I even wear heels today? The phone dangling loosely in her hand suddenly rang. She picked up instinctively, as if responding to a command embedded deep in her heart. Hello. Where are you? Jae Soo asked, his voice urgent. Huh? Won Soo blinked, confused. I'll come get you, he said calmly. But just then, a shrill voice echoed from the phone. What kind of behavior is this? Wait. Let go of me, will you? Won Soo froze. What was that? Were they arguing? Only now did she turn back to observe the couple properly. Something really did seem off. They were quarreling, heatedly. And then smack. A loud slap landed across Jae Soo's face. Even from a distance, it shocked her. What the hell? Later, at a small cafe, the two of them sat across from each other. Jae Soo looked away, trying to hide the angry red welt on his cheek. Won Soo still hadn't quite processed everything. Her mind was a mess, somewhere between sympathy and the urge to laugh. Jae Soo rubbed his cheek awkwardly. So, here's what happened. But Won Soo turned away, flustered. Hey, everyone's got their own stuff. You don't have to tell me if you don't want to. Then she added, anyway, the movie's about to start. Let's go. Jae Soo blinked, puzzled. Wait, aren't you the least bit curious? Won Soo didn't look back. Nope. Your business. Not curious. He narrowed his eyes. Liar. Creeping closer behind her, he whispered. I got slapped in the face and you're not curious. You're pretending not to be. Are you embarrassed? Busted. Won Soo fell silent. After a pause, she gave in. She pulled out a chair, sat back down, and cleared her throat. Well, since you seem so desperate to talk, I'll listen. Jae Soo gave her another sideways look. TCH. And then, he began. Scratching his head, he told her how he and that girl had dated long ago. But their personalities clashed, and they broke up a while back. He had no idea why she suddenly came to his office today, begging him to take her back, and then, out of nowhere, slapped him. Won Soo listened blankly at first. But as he spoke, her expression sharpened. She's crazy, she snapped. Why come find you after a breakup just to make a scene? Jae Soo sighed. Yeah, I was just as shocked. Then, looking at her carefully, he asked. You were surprised too, weren't you? Won Soo, flustered, replied, No, it's nothing, it's just that. She smiled brightly. I was just surprised, it's your ex, right? In her mind, she mocked herself. What was I thinking? That he had been waiting for me all these years? How ridiculous. Her hands unconsciously clenched, a wave of humiliation washing over her. She thought bitterly, that Lenora girl, she made me believe I was the only one. But it wasn't true at all. She bowed her head, deep in thought, so that's how it is. Jae Soo once had someone he loved too. She pictured him together with that girl, smiling happily, and without realizing it, jealousy began to rise within her. Trying to escape the thoughts crowding her, Won Soo averted her gaze. There I go imagining things again. Just then, his warm voice broke the silence. tinged with self-deprecation. If she comes back again, I'll report her to the police. Won Soo snapped out of it. She asked, "Are you okay? Do you think she'll come looking for you again?" Jae Soo responded angrily. "Either way, I'm cutting her off immediately." He shifted awkwardly and said shyly, "I'm fine. But you saw me like that just now, let's just forget it, okay?" Won Soo was stunned, tears welling up in her eyes. Her heart fluttered in confusion. What's going on? What's wrong with me? These unfamiliar emotions stirred inside her for the first time. Later, at the cinema, Won Soo sat restlessly in her seat. Her hand clutched the armrest nervously. Her awkward posture piqued Jae Soo's curiosity. He spoke softly. "How, Won Soo?" She turned to him, answering. "Huh." He quickly removed his jacket and handed it to her. "Take this." Before she could react, he draped it over her lap, where her short skirt failed to cover properly. He looked straight ahead at the screen and said seriously, "You'll get cold after sitting a while, so cover yourself." Won Soo blushed furiously, covering her mouth in embarrassment. "What is this? What's with him?" She looked up at him, or rather, reminded herself, no, he's always been like this. Then she wondered, so is the problem me? The movie eventually ended, and night had fallen outside the theater. Walking side by side, they chatted excitedly about the film. "Ah, that was fun. The twist was wild. When did you guess the culprit?" "Right from the start." "Liar." "I mean it." That carefree smile hadn't graced her face in a long time. She had already forgotten the awkwardness between them from the past. That adorable smile made Jae Soo glance over, his face reddening in embarrassment. He said slowly, "Did I say this today already?" "Huh? Say what?" He paused for a second and said softly, "You were already pretty, but today, you looked especially beautiful." He suddenly walked a few steps ahead to avoid her gaze, mumbling, "Probably because it's been a while since I saw you wear makeup. But next time, just dress like you normally do. Makeup must be tiring. You're already pretty enough." Won Soo stopped in her tracks and let out a small sound, about to say something. He turned around and asked, "HM? What is it?" Won Soo felt a storm inside. How can he say stuff like that so casually? "I feel like something big is happening." Her face turned bright red, her heart truly shaken. Tonight had been full of emotions for her, the sadness and strange discomfort of learning that Jae Soo once had someone he loved. Then the warmth of him noticing all the little things and caring for her all this time. And now, overwhelming confusion from the softness in his voice and the beauty in his expression as he spoke about her. A compliment no one had ever given her before, that she was beautiful. Won Soo's heart pounded uncontrollably. She stood still in silence, making Jae Soo worried. He gently placed his hand on her cheek, brushing her soft hair aside. He bent down to face her and looked at her with concern. Hey. How, Won Soo, are you okay?" She froze, tears brimming in her eyes. She thought, this feeling, it's because I've fallen too hard for Jae Soo. His hands gently touched the corners of her lips, nudging them into a smile, like coaxing a child, full of tenderness. The street light above them bathed them in warm light. Her gaze grew more dazed, words lost to her. Just a second later, her rational mind returned. Can I really fall for him again? The shadow of loneliness crept in. If I say I like him now, isn't that shameless? Memories returned, when she coldly pushed him away, the harsh words she used to keep him at a distance to protect her relationship with YH. She remembered the despair in his eyes back then. She feared becoming someone who could pretend she hadn't caused him all that pain over the years. Guilt engulfed her. She couldn't become that shameless person. Won Soo lowered her gaze. She closed her eyes, struggling. And in the blink of an eye, she was back, Won Soo, strong as always. She softly said, I'm hungry. Let's go eat. And flashed the kindest smile she could manage. He looked at her silently and let out a soft hum, full of warmth and understanding. They went out looking for dinner, but it was already late. This place, that place, even here, every restaurant was closed. Jae Soo scratched his head. Maybe it's because this is an office district. Restaurants probably don't stay open late. Still feeling awkward, Won Soo mumbled, so what now? Should we just grab some convenience store food and make do? Jae Soo thought for a moment and replied, my place is nearby. She looked surprised. Huh? He said decisively, come on, let's go to my place. Voices began to fill Jae Soo's small apartment, the atmosphere warm and familiar, just like a family gathering at the end of a long day. Won Soo wondered silently, why did I come here with him? Then again, there wasn't really another option. It'll be fine, right? Come in. Make yourself at home, he said. She looked around in surprise. His kitchen, unlike the bare one in her own apartment, was clean, fully stocked with cooking utensils. I thought you were spoiled and didn't know how to do anything, she muttered. He overheard and raised an eyebrow. Wait, what do you think of me, huh? She jumped slightly, caught off guard by his curiosity. Jae Soo began cooking while chatting casually. My mom's pretty strict. She always said you need to be able to take care of yourself to be a proper adult. When did you start living with your mom? She asked. Since I transferred companies. My old place was a bit far. He held up a pack of instant noodles. Is ramen okay? Won Soo nodded, this was more than good enough for her. Oh right, he added, I've also got some gimbap my mom made. Want some? You like it, don't you? Won Soo lit up. Your mom's gimbap? Of course I do. A soft glow filtered through the window, the night outside gentle and calm. Inside, he asked quietly, is it good? After dinner, he brought out fruit for dessert. Won Soo popped a strawberry into her mouth, beaming. It's really good. Thanks. I told you, your mom's gimbap is the best, and these strawberries are amazing too. Jae Soo looked at her in disbelief. Is my mom's gimbap really that good? You've eaten it so often you don't realize how special it is, she replied. Is that so? He murmured. A pang of sadness rose in his chest. He had a family, she had always been alone. No one had ever really taken care of her. Looking at the way her expression softened when she was being cared for, his heart melted. She rested her chin on her hand, looking thoughtful. Maybe I should learn how to make gimbap too. Won Soo's eyes glistened. She looked away shyly. Why yeah, you should. Then she stood up and turned away. Can I take a look at your room? Sure, go ahead, he said. She opened the door. His world was tidy, simple, yet peaceful in its own way. Her eyes wandered to the bookshelf, where a high school photo album was carefully placed in the center. She opened it with excitement. He brought this with him? Just then, Jae Soo walked in, having finished cleaning. What are you looking at? She giggled. Ah, this is great. Remember this, she said, pointing to a photo. He leaned on the chair beside her, nodding. Ah, our graduation album. She laughed brightly. The photographer told us to smile, but I was so stiff I almost died. But he wasn't looking at the photo. He was staring at her face, lips moving faintly, his heart suddenly calm as he stood beside her. He murmured, yeah. I remember. Maybe it was then, when my eyes started seeing you differently. His arms almost moved to wrap around her shoulders. He leaned closer. Then suddenly, he turned her chair to face him. She blinked in confusion. Huh? His hands held the sides of the chair. He leaned down to meet her gaze and whispered, I stopped seeing you as just a friend. You're more than that to me. Her eyes widened, stunned. Her mind couldn't catch up. He continued, back then, I was too young to understand my feelings. I was confused, and all I could do was watch you get hurt. It tore me apart. His voice grew stronger, steadier. But I don't want to be that person anymore. I don't want to stand on the sidelines, watching. I told you before, this thing between us, it's not just friendship. Each word grew heavier, slower. I like you, Won Soo. She sat there, like someone standing in front of a spotlight, stunned and unsure how to respond. Jae Soo leaned in, his face inching closer to hers, full of longing and years of bottled-up emotion. He was about to kiss her. Suddenly, she blurted out, I don't know if I'm allowed to. Can I even like you back? I've hurt you so much, then and now. Her eyes filled with despair, her expression so fragile. Jae Soo paused, taken aback. Pity and sadness flashed in his eyes. Then, in a soft voice, she said, but if. Jae Soo looked at her, startled. If you say, it's okay. Her voice grew faster, more urgent. Then can I like you? His eyes widened. The emotions he'd kept buried for years burst forth. Like a gust of wind, he pulled her close, cupped her face, and kissed her, fiercely, fully, pouring every emotion into that one moment. Won Soo was stunned. Her wide eyes slowly softened, closing as she gave into the feeling, safe in his arms, completely honest with herself. They kissed for a long, long time, lost in each other until the ache of longing finally began to fade. She looked at him with so much tenderness. He rested his forehead against hers, gently holding her face. He smiled, finally feeling whole. That wound, just now, with your words, it healed. Then he leaned in again, savoring her closeness. Won Soo whispered, thank you, for saying all that.